Hi everybody, my name is Jeremy, this is Red Means Recording, and today we are looking at two new modules from XAOC Devices. They sent these over and asked if I'd be willing to do a little presentation, and I was like, yeah, these sound really, really cool. So the two that we're going to be looking at are the Koszalin 1964 stereo voltage-controlled frequency shifter and the Timiszoara stereo voltage-controlled effects processor. I'm going to give these nicknames. I'm going to call one of them Koza and one of them called Timmy, because I'm not going to pronounce both of those for the rest of this thing. You don't want me to. It's going to be bad if I do. So with that said, let's jump into hearing how these modules sound. In this first patch, we're going to start by running Clavis Twin Waves into first the Cozy and then into the Timmy. And I've got some modulation set up. It's going to be great. Let's go ahead and hit play and hear first our dry signal coming out of the Twin Waves. You can see it's going to Minsk, the stereo processor, then Koza, and then Timmy. So let's bring in the frequency shifter. I've got some modulation going into the linear FM, and we're going to bring in some LFOs that are going into the regen and density. There it is. This thing is very, very wild. The only other time I've used a frequency shifter is in the Machine Plus. There's a great frequency shifter effect, and it's so cool to have it in your rack. All right, let's bring in Timmy. It's currently set to the chorus bank, and I'm running a gate into the next function, which will go through every effect in the current bank. I'm also modulating the heck out of our 3 modulation inputs. One of the really cool things that Koza can do is this phaser sound. If you're really careful with things, right past noon on the big knob, little modulation, and that just is choice as heck right there. There's some really cool distortion models in our friend Timmy. Yeah, things can get really wild. And back to normal. All right, great. Next, reverbs. Of course, I'm going to spend a lot of time on the reverbs. Reverbs are important to me. And here we go. We're going to start with the first reverb bank with this nice little ambient thing coming out of the Twin Waves. Here we go. A good reverb should make you just want to sit and listen, and the reverbs in Timmy definitely pull that off. You can hear that pre-delay thing there, giving us a little bit of pitch shifting, and I thought it'd be cool to modulate it. So let's send a little tiny bit of LFO into that pre-delay and hear how it thickens up the reverb. Got that nice chorusing sound now. That's my jam right there. 100% wet. That is exactly what it says on the tin. Cavernous. Good. This garage is actually one of my favorites. Reverb Bank 2 has a whole nother set, some of them which are a little bit more experimental, like this Abyss. Yeah, that's it right there. That is my jam. Oh, wait, no, that's the dry. This is another really, really unique one, Utopia. Dark, modulated, very, very good. And then there's weird things like an aliasing verb, which I think would add amazing texture to drums and all kinds of stuff. That icy sample rate reduction we have going on there. And then you can voltage control things like filter and the amount of aliasing if you want. This phase verb, one of the most brilliant algorithms in this. God, that's so good. There's also a whole bank of shimmers, some of which are more useful than others. We'll just listen to some of my favorites real quick. Of course, drunk. One of the things that sets Timi apart from other spin chip-based Eurorack modules is the ability to see what each parameter is doing. The use of the screen and the parameter changing is really, really nice, and definitely is a quality of life thing that I'd like to see more people using spin chip-based effects modules doing. Spiral is definitely one of the standouts in the shimmer folder. We're gonna make this really big. Yes, that's what a shimmer should sound like. It's also very cool that XAOC didn't shy away from more experimental expressions of these effects, like this resonate shimmer. And of course, steppy. Puis steppy, uwu. And that is our shimmer bank. Yes. One super fun thing you can do with Cozy here is you can ping the inputs with gate signals or trigger signals, and you can get some pretty banging stuff out of it. So let's go ahead and listen. I've got 2 Euclidean gates coming out of a module going into the inputs. I have a little kick drum on Clavis Twin Waves here. I have the output of Cozy going into Timi. We'll listen to that in a bit. And I have both the upshifted and downshifted out of Cozy being used. So let's go ahead and just listen to what this sounds like, because it's pretty cool. We'll start without any Timi on the signal. So there's our gates. You can hear their stereo. Nothing really happening right now. I need to increase our friends here. And then we start to hear the frequency shifter starts to act as a voice. And it's pretty wild, right? Sounds very, very unique, very, very techno, and I like it. Now we can adjust the regen, which is that. It can affect the combination down and up shift out, or just the up, or just the down. We can also change the range of this knob. And on top of that, we can still modulate through 0 FM and other stuff if we want to. I'm going to take a signal out of Moscow and put it into the linear FM. And now you can hear we have a cool like percussion voice that's super, super, super unique. Let's go ahead and bring in some multi-tap delay. And of course, we can modulate these two, so let's get some cables into there and see how wild we can make this just play in itself. There we go. If you're looking for a percussion section for your techno sets, this might be it. Apparently we're in Doom now. I like it a lot. We'll show you one final thing on this. That is the resonate section in our friend Timmy. So yeah, this is a very unique combo here that can get very, very techno-y if you want it to. Very, very fun stuff. So one of the things that this spin chip that this is based on and many other Eurorack effects is based on is it has trouble clocking. It's hard to find clocked delays in spin chip based effects. The Effects8 has a bit of it. I'm not sure if the one from ALM has it, but we do have a bank in this one of tap tempo based effects. And you can send in a tap into the first input most of the time, and it will respond like a tap tempo delay would. Which means that you can control the tapping coming in and change the rate of the delay that way. Overall, I didn't find the effects in the tap tempo folder all that interesting, compared to some of the stuff we've already heard, but you do have to keep in mind that XAOC is endeavoring to make this probably about as open source or as open as any of these devices, effect devices in Eurorack have been so far. You can see the SD card on the front there, and they are encouraging people to try to create their own effects. You can just load them up into your own banks. So if you have ever felt like you might want to learn how to program some DSP, the Timi offers you a really good opportunity for that. You can see I'm changing our pattern going into the tap there to see if I can get a different vibe from this, a different timing vibe. One thing I will also note about these delays is you have to see how I have the feedback all the way up. We're not getting actual like blown out feedback like you would from a delay. Most delays would blow out with 100% feedback. So they've dialed in these algorithms in such a way that you will not get the complete destruction of your audio by turning the feedback up, which is bad and good. It's mostly good for most people, but I do like being able to use infinite feedback as a, especially if it's like bucket brigading and resonating, as a effect in my compositions. So it's a little disappointing to not see that here, but I think most people will probably be happy that it's not going to do that. This bank of delays is not tempo. And what I'm trying to show you here is how easy and or difficult it is to match tempo using the time slider for these to, adjust the delay rate. You don't always need to have your delays completely synced to tempo. Sometimes it's nice to have a little bit of smear. And this one just locked right in. I'm not really sure how that happened. This one's called Mono PP. And I really like the way the pitch smears around. Also, if you hear something like that, you should try modulating it with some like LFOs or something like that, because you will get some really cool glitchy smearing of the delay buffer. Yeah, that's super cool. Okay, we're back to our friend Koza. We are running the twin waves into Koza, and Koza has an exponential FM input, which means you can send 1 volt per octave, which means I can sequence the frequency shifter with Moskwa. Yeah, robot dance. It's super cool. Very robotic and alien. And if you add one of the like glitchy patches in Timi and modulate that, you can get some cool stuff. Yeah. Duck test. Anyways, I thought that was fun. I hope you find it fun too. That's it. Stop. In this demo, I'll be running 2 channels out of twin waves into 2 channels of Timi, and we're going to be listening to the dual modes, which are supposed to be like 2 effects at once, but we're going to be using 2 inputs, and it's going to be like a panning excursion. Whereas the 2 voices are faded in, we get different effects, and I think it sounds really good. And that, my friends, is Koza and Timi. What do I think of both of them? I think the frequency shifter is absolutely bonkers. I really, really, really like Koza. I think that it offers some really, really interesting opportunities for sound design and percussive stereo filtering. It's cool. It's super, super cool. Timi is a very, very good expression of the spin chip architecture. I love the screen. I love being able to see the parameters there. I love what they have done with the programming of the algorithms that ship with it. And I think that while there are some of the glitchinesses that are inherent to the spin chip and some of the limitations, and I wish that we had an alternative to the spin chip that exists, I think they've done a really, really admirable job with the architecture that they worked with. There are, of course, alternatives like the ALM MFX and the FXA and the FXA XL, but it's really, really great to have options, and it's really, really cool to see XAOC trying to create a more open platform for this architecture. That's it from me. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you've enjoyed the bleep bloops. This has been a very bleep bloopy video. Check the video description if you would like to purchase these modules from somewhere. Thanks for XAOC for sponsoring this video. My name is Jeremy. This is Red Means Recording, and I hope you have a wonderful day.